What's up, Tim Sykes here. Wanted to do a video just on, the biggest percent winner this morning, which is BDR. Lots of BS out there about this company, lots of misinformation, and yet many of my top upcoming challenge students are banking. And that's why I teach, frankly. So if by the end of this video you understand my point, say in the comments below saying, I love junk stocks. I'm not saying BDR is a good company or even a good stock. It is junk. It is trash. It is rubbish. And yet you can use that rubbish to enhance your own wealth. I know it sounds crazy, but this is why I teach. This is what I've been doing now for 20 plus years, trading this kind of junk. I actually did not even trade BDR. So this is going to be a really useful lesson in helping you understand that I don't want anybody to follow my alerts. A lot of my top students are completely self-sufficient. They don't need my alerts. My alerts specifically exist just to, reinforce the patterns, that I teach and the rules that I teach. I'm not always going to be right. And in fact, sometimes I will miss a play like BDR. I was dealing with PLNHF. I was dip buying it. It was a morning panic. I actually had a loss on my first one. I got a little too excited because it's a multi-day winner and it was finally like dropping and I didn't want to miss it. And that was my fault. I got in a little too soon and I had a small loss. But I got back in and I had some patience and I profited. So I'm pretty happy with that. Overall, a little gain of a few $100s and kind of cool. Put me over 5.7 million now in total career trading profits. Now closing in on 60 grand this month, pretty much a little over halfway through. But more importantly, this stock BDR, I love this because look at some of my students. Before I get into the lessons, here is Jane D. She said, best trade ever. She's a new challenge student and she's been watching me and Tim Grattani and Tim Bowen. So she's thanking all the Tims. I know it's like a Tim overload and Tim Lento too. But she made 28.62 or so she thought, because the interesting thing is she tweeted afterwards. Where is it? I had another tweet. I don't know. She tweeted somewhere else where she actually made 38.62 and she miscounted. But the interesting thing here is that we have a promoter who says Tim shouldn't be putting newbies in these shitty names. The halt will most likely crash as 100% or more. First of all, a stock can't crash 100% or more. So I don't know if he's being kidding or if he's just, as dumb as I think he is. I don't put anybody into these names. And this was my tweet. I said, I'm not putting them in them. I didn't even trade it. You seem to forget I teach my students to be self-sufficient and they are crushing it as a result. Apology for your flawed mindset, useless existence, accepted in advance. So, I deal with these promoters. I deal with these liars. This is why I timestamp my trades. I timestamp my commentary. I don't make secret trades. I don't have secret commentary for, only like 5 people where I'm like, oh, let me tell my top 5 millionaire students something special. I want as many millionaire students as possible. I want as many successful students as possible. So I tell everybody the truth because the truth, which is kind of cool, can actually help you the most. I don't have to fake it. I don't have to lie. I don't have to pump. And I totally did not even trade BDR. And then also, Amador made $400, 64%. And this is what I love. Like, people are ripping on these companies and, they're saying, oh, there's terrible fundamentals. It's low float. It's junk. And again, I'm not trying to say that they have good fundamentals. BDR was a big percent winner early on, pre-market with stocks to trade. All you have to do is look at the big percent gainers. I give you these tools. I tell you the techniques. And guess what? It was spiking right from the market open. When it takes out the day high at the market open, that is a good time to enter. Like I said, I was actually busy with PLN HF. So I was in the wrong play. But these students banked. And this is what I love. Amador made 64%. And just to put this in perspective, like, making 64% in a year is a fantastic year for a hedge fund, for a mutual fund, for a long-term investor. Even if they made 64% over 3 years, that is still a very good return. This is made inside of an hour. Okay, so I just want to put everything in perspective where I know that mutual funds are so safe and you should invest in blue chip companies, and yet for small dollar amounts, you can actually use your small account size to your advantage. Okay, $400 might not seem like a lot to anybody who invests in a mutual fund or hedge fund or a blue chip company, but for traders and especially upcoming traders, making 400, making what did let me see, where was it? Uh, oh, Jane. What did Jane make? Jane made 28.62, but she made actually 38.62. Whether you make 400 or 38.62 or anything in between, or even if you have a smaller account, you make $40. Recognizing that you can make 64% is fantastic. And Amador, props to him for watching. Both my 30-day boot camp with Mono Trader Matt Monaco, and he's watching Tim Bowen too. Traded by the bell, NMTR. This was on my watch list, pre-market winner, and made 21%. Nice little panic dip buy, and I missed this one. This is what I love. I'm not angry when my students do better than me. I'm excited. This is how you should look to do. Take my lessons, take my patterns, and try your best. Here's Jenny, and she says, holy shit, she nearly doubled her money in BDR, and then made nearly 50% in NMTR. And she's been studying in my challenge, and she's using stocks to trade. So again, you're having consistency. Here's Zaina in the comments saying, caught BDR 232 out at 310, 33% in 10 minutes. We lucky we didn't get it caught in the halt. And this is also very important because right now, as I'm filming this, BDR is halted, and it probably will crash. But if you trade scared, then trading isn't so scary, okay? If you hold this kind of a junk stock for a few seconds or a few minutes and you just ride it up, I mean, the thing spiked 300%. Again, it's very important to look at the chart. Look at this. This is pre-market. Just scroll over here. Pre-market, it's spiking, okay? This is all 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m. This is the market open. And you have to look at the pre-market highs. People say, okay, Tim, like it's easy just to say the stock is up 300, but when do you specifically buy? If I had not been in PLN I would have, wait, let me scroll down so you can see the whole chart. I would have bought this high of the day breakout right here, right? I would have bought it at like 180-ish, and I would have flipped it at like 220-ish. I would have been in for a minute or two. I would not have even risked this, okay? And so it would have been actually tough for me to alert. This is another reason why I don't really like trading these, low price, low flow winners right near the market open, because for me, my strategy, it would be in so quick and out so quick, I wouldn't even necessarily be able to type it. So that would be tough. But for you, you have it easier. You can get in, you can get out. You don't necessarily have to be so quick. Again, that's my personality, being extra safe, being impatient. But those of you with smaller accounts, you can ride it a little bit. What I would have done, I mean, you can see the volume. I mean, this stock is spiking. Literally, these are 1 minute candles, and it's trading 2 million shares per minute. So some people say, oh, like it barely trades. That's a BS lie. It still blows my mind how many BS lies can just be exposed just by looking at the chart and by looking at the price action. But I would have bought probably, my guess would have been like 10,000 shares here at $1.80, maybe $1.85, and flipped it at like 215, and made like 2 or 3 grand. That would have been my trade. I would not have held through these 3 red candles because I'd be scared of it crashing. I would not have held through this halt. So again, for me, it's not the ideal trade, which is part of the reason why I didn't trade it. Trading is different for every single person. But if I was starting right now, and let's say, I could just wipe away 20 years of memories and experience and maybe be a little more aggressive and not be so, cowardly, there's no harm in holding this for a few more minutes later. I'm not saying this is a long-term investment. I'm not saying hold it for months or years or decades and believing in it. I'm saying ride up the hype. And, maybe on this candle, maybe if you don't like trading right at the open, maybe this candle would get me in or get some people in. Here at like on the breakout at 225. But even here for like 5 minutes, it's really not breaking out. So even if I had bought here at 225, I probably would be out here at 250 because I would just be scared of how much it's up. But with a smaller account, with no experience, I used to trade more aggressively. So if I could go back in time and say, hey, I'm starting right now, I guess like go back in time mentality wise, but still be in present day. I know it's confusing. Time travel movies are like that too. But if I was just starting right now, right, like I might buy, I don't know, let's say 1,000 shares here on the breakout, or maybe even, this is not my personal strategy, but in this hypothetical example, maybe buy this dip because it breaks the pre-market highs. And then what does it hold? It holds 2-ish, which is just above the highs here. So this is actually a nice little hold. And if I have a different mindset and I'm a different person and I can be anybody, maybe buy 1,000 or 2,000 shares here and then flip them here. But no matter how you slice this, it's really tough not to make money. Whether you make, 10 cents, 20 cents, 50 cents, or $1 a share. And I would not be holding through this. And if I am holding through a halt, I get this question a lot. What do you do if the stock halts like this? I am selling right when it reopens. Okay, so if I'm in this stock here before the halt, let's say at like 250, 260, when it reopens, you can see here that even though it finished up, this candle came back down to 250 because there's a lot of people who sell right out of the halt. And I'm not a big fan of trading stocks that get halted. So I really have no regret, no FOMO over missing this because as I just explained, I mean, at best I would have made $3,000, which is nice, but I donate all my profits to charity, and there would have been a big, debacle with me trying to alert my buy and trying to alert my sell all within a few minutes. That's how typos happen. Sometimes I type in the wrong ticker. Sometimes I type in the wrong size. Like I really don't like trades that pop up so quickly. So this was not my ideal trade at all. And yet, if you look at students like Amador making 64% or Traded by the Bell on NMTR or Zyna making 33% in 10 minutes, sorry, I have that twice. Or, Jane D making 28.62. What this shows is this. This is why I love this, okay? This is just a graphic that I found where it's like, all the sheep going over the edge and one specific animal not going with the crowd. And this is what I want for everybody. I want you to be self-sufficient. I don't want you to follow my alerts. I don't want you to follow anybody's alerts. I want you to figure out what you can do with your own personality, with your own schedule. And how do you figure that out? By testing, okay? Test, test, test. I often say that you have to be a scientist. You have to think of yourself as somebody who experiments. Try different trades on this. Use these junk stocks. Use this volatility in your favor, okay? When you have a stock running like this, that's trading huge millions of shares every few minutes, try to find what you're most comfortable with and recognize that A, you're not going to be comfortable with anything in the beginning because you're just starting, right? Like some people are like, I've been doing this 2 weeks and I'm just not comfortable. I'm like, yeah, you're just starting, right? Like it's always hardest in the beginning. And as I often point out, Tim Grittani, who's now over 13 million, he made nothing his first 9 months. So you have to have patience while you're studying. So study and trade. If you're scared to trade, use paper trading. Stocks to Trade has a paper trading tool where you're not risking real money, but that doesn't give you the full education. Or you can trade smaller. This is another thing. I get so many people, they're like, oh, I'm so scared to trade. I'm like, buy 100 shares. See how it feels. That way you won't make or lose much, but at least you can, get your blood pumping. You start to feel the adrenaline. You start to see where there's opportunities. And this is a good opportunity to test on, okay? Aside from just learning from existing stocks that you're trading in real time, you can augment your education. We have the new boot camp. If you're watching it, study every single day. It's a 30-day boot camp, but you can study it on your own time, okay? You don't have to finish it in 30 days. I'm gonna link the boot camp just below, and I'm also gonna link my challenge just below. The challenge is where all my top students are being created, and it's because They don't just get access to the watch list and the commentary and the alerts and the video lessons that everybody else does. They get webinars. I'm actually doing a 2-hour live Q&A webinar tonight for my challenge students. And I tell my challenge students to write down questions when they're watching video lessons or DVDs or blog posts or their own trades, and then ask me questions. And it's not just me. The beautiful thing about the challenge is Tim Grattani gives webinars, Mark Crook gives webinars, Michael Good sometimes gives webinars, Tim Bowen sometimes gives webinars, Tim Lento gives webinars. Now, upcoming students like Jack Kellogg just gave a webinar. We got to get Matt Monaco and Kyle Williams giving webinars. It's a community where we're trying to share what we've learned. And they also have their own chat room. And out of all the chat rooms that I follow, the challenge chat room, and I'm obviously biased because it's my chat room, but I'm really proud of the fact that I can say this honestly. This is the best chat room. It has the most number of upcoming millionaires and existing millionaires trading these plays. You know, Matt Monaco, Jack Kellogg, like they're posting their trades and their thoughts in real time in the challenge chat room. A lot of people don't realize this. They think, oh, it's just me. You know, I have enough of your commentary, Sykes. Maybe you do, but you don't have my top upcoming students. And now they're taking these patterns and doing what they can with them too, because they've made these patterns their own. And that's what I want for all of you. That's what I'm looking for. I'm trying to create more successful students so I can also get more help teaching. I used to give 3, sometimes 5 live webinars per week in the beginning. And I would lose my voice. And still, I'm working a lot, but now it's not just webinars. And I'm very grateful that a lot of my top students now help give webinars too. And they share how they trade stocks like this. Okay. And I know it's not always the same. You know, like I know some people who are short this stock and they're probably going to bank when it reopens. You know, that's awesome. There's no one right way to trade these. But all I can suggest is utilize these stocks, these junk stocks, when they are in play, whether you like dip buying them, whether you like buying the breakouts, whether you like holding for a minute, 10 minutes, an hour. Try different stuff and see what you're best at. Get a whole data set of 100 trades, then 200 trades, then 500 trades, and then find what patterns you're best at. But you're not going to be able to find what you're best at or what you're worst at in the first few trades. You know, people are like, oh, I've done 10 trades. I'm still confused. Yeah, no shit. You need hundreds, if not thousands of trades to be able to form conclusions of what you're best at. The reason why I know what trade I would do, even though I didn't trade it, because I've done trades like this. I know I would never in a million years hold it from the high ones to the threes, even though that opportunity was there. But I want to be honest with you. I'm not here to just say, oh, of course I would have doubled my money. Yes, penny stocks are so easy. No, this is the breakout I would have played had I played it. And like I said, I would have had major problems even trying to get the alerts out. So I'm kind of glad I wasn't in it. And I'm even happier that, the promoters are saying I pumped it when I didn't even trade it. So it's win-win. So props to all the students who nailed it, whether you made 10%, 20%, 50%, or 100%. Or even if you didn't trade it, at least you witnessed it so you can see what this volatility does. And I really encourage you to keep watching, keep practicing, keep learning every single day. I know some people take the month of August off for trading, but again, this isn't just about trading. Every single day you can add to your knowledge account. As I often say, and too many people don't realize, you have 2 accounts. You have your knowledge account and you have your brokerage account. And you need to grow your knowledge account enough so that you can then have your knowledge spill over into your brokerage account. And that's what this is. So again, I'm going to post 2 links just below this. This is the 30-day boot camp, literally the best reviewed educational product that I've ever created. And I'm very grateful to everyone studying it. Keep tweeting at me every time you finish a chapter and tell me which one of your chapters is most helpful. I like hearing that, and we're also working on more chapters, so your feedback actually helps us create better future chapters. And then also I'm going to post a link to the challenge. This is only if you're serious, if you're dedicated. If you just want hot stock picks, if you just want to follow the leader, if you just want some get rich quick team, please do not apply. People have offered literally $50, $75, $100,000 for me to teach them, but they have the worst mindset And, I just don't have the patience or tolerance for bad attitudes these days. So I'm telling you straight up, only apply if you're ready to be a successful trader and you're willing to be committed and dedicated in your studying. And it's not going to happen overnight. Like I said, Tim Grittani, arguably the best penny stock trader and certainly the best challenge student ever. Over 13 million in profits now. I think he's taking the month of August off. Actually, he's earned it, but he's already made over 3 million this year. But he's also giving back. Once you do join the challenge, do me a favor. Hopefully you get tired of me talking because I've done so many videos and webinars. Watch Tim Grittani's webinars. Okay, we have 1,000 archive webinars in the challenge, but Tim Grittani has done over 70 of them, and very few people watch them. This goes out to you guys who are watching this, and you are challenge students, and you still have not watched half or even a third of Tim Grittani's webinars. That's a mistake. My favorite webinar recently of Tim Grittani is when he just made nearly $300,000 on June 30th, just a few weeks ago. And what did he do to celebrate? He gave a challenge webinar. Literally everyone was banking. I made like 30 grand on the day. A bunch of students made like 30, 40, 50 grand, 75 grand for Jack Kellogg on CYDY. It was a perfect pattern for longs and shorts. I underestimated the dip buy big time. But Tim Grittani walked away with the biggest profit, making nearly 300 grand. And I always give him crap about like how he celebrates. Like one time, I forget which milestone he passed. Was it $1 million? I don't know. He's had so many milestones. I think it might have been when he passed $1 million. And I was like, what'd you do to celebrate? And he went to like Mellow Mushroom Pizzeria for like some pizza. And I love it. He works in a t-shirt and gym shorts. And money hasn't changed him at all, but he's gotten, just successful, and intelligent and self-sufficient. And now he's earned security for his family. And now he's moved to the Caribbean. Like, sometimes when we talk, he literally cuts the conversation short. And he's like, got to go play with the sea turtles. The sea turtles are out. And it's the time of the day, I guess, when the sea turtles are out. And I love that. That's what I want for more people. I want more people to, move their family to the Caribbean, have an incredible family outing with the sea turtles, and just, take the month off if you want and still make millions of dollars per year. I mean, that's a pretty good life. So that's best case scenario. That should inspire you. But again, this is only if you're truly committed. If you're unsure, if you have doubts, please do not apply for the challenge. You will not get in. We're not trying to be dicks about it, but we just have a really good community and we want to make sure that only the right people join. You need to have the right mentality. You need to invest in your education. I can't tell you how many people ask me every single day, Tim, just give me one pick and then I'll study. If the pick proves well. And I'm like, one pick? Okay, one investment, the best investment, and I say this to everybody, the absolute best investment is to invest in yourself, in your future, in your education. That is never a bad investment. But in order to invest in yourself, you have to have the right mindset. You got to understand this is a marathon, not a sprint. You got to understand that plays like BDR might help you grow your knowledge account. They might help you grow your brokerage account. But they're just one trade in a long line of trades, okay? And you put all those trades together and then you form conclusions. And then you adapt and you say, what can you do better? What can you do, more of if you're good at a pattern? Oh, wait a minute, this pattern isn't good. Let me do less of that. And that's what it takes. So again, leave a comment underneath this video saying, I love junk stocks. If you love plays like BDR and you recognize that they're not long-term investments, but they do help you grow your account and they help you understand this more. And then also I'm going to post 2 links, one for the boot camp, 30 days, but you can watch it in your own time. Some dedicated people have watched it in like 4 days. Some people have watched it, in a day or 2. And I don't want you to rush it. It's not a race, okay? It's not a competition. Studying is a marathon, not a sprint. And the same goes for my challenge. I'll post 2 links, one for the bootcamp, one for the challenge. Study it all. Some people are like, what should I study? I say study it all. You have to do what works best for you. I want you being able to take small losses and small gains and eventually having your profits add up to 5.7 million too. So That's today's lesson. I'll see you guys in chat. I hope you're learning. More importantly, learning, not just earning, learning and earning.